Good morning, America. As the sun rises over the heartland, millions are waking up to a serious weather threat. Today, the central United States is on high alert, with communities from the southern plains to the Great Lakes bracing for impact. A major storm system is targeting the region, bringing with it the potential for widespread, dangerous flooding that could disrupt daily life and threaten property. This isn't just another spring shower. This is a slow-moving, moisture-packed event, fueled by atmospheric conditions that could impact millions of people and stretch emergency resources thin. Heavy thunderstorms will sweep from the southern plains to the Great Lakes, dropping relentless rain over the same areas for hours, even days, increasing the risk of flash flooding and river flooding alike. The risk is real. Persistent downpours could overwhelm drainage systems, turning flood potential into flood reality in both urban and rural communities. Forecast models are in strong agreement. Very heavy rainfall is likely, and the slow pace of this system only increases the danger, as saturated ground will struggle to absorb more water. If you're in the path, now is the time to review your flood risk and safety plans. Make sure your family knows what to do if evacuation becomes necessary, and check your emergency supplies. Make sure you have a way to get weather alerts before the water starts rising, whether it's a smartphone, weather radio, or local news. Early warnings can save lives. The energy for this storm comes from warm, moist Gulf air clashing with a powerful dip in the jet stream from the west, creating a volatile setup for severe weather and heavy rain. This classic spring setup is supercharged by extra moisture and a stalled system, raising the flood threat to levels we haven't seen in recent years. Stay tuned for updates as we track this evolving situation. Our team of meteorologists is monitoring every development to keep you informed and safe. Preparation is key. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now to protect your home, your loved ones, and your community. We'll keep you informed every step of the way, bringing you the latest updates and safety information as this dangerous storm unfolds. Why is this storm so dangerous? It's not just the intensity of the rain, but the conditions on the ground that make this situation so concerning. When we look at the setup, it's clear that several factors are coming together to create a perfect storm for flooding. The ground across much of the central U.S. is already saturated from recent rains. Fields and pastures are waterlogged, with puddles lingering days after the last downpour. Think of the soil as a soaked sponge. There's nowhere for new rain to go. Every drop that falls now simply runs off the surface, unable to soak in. Any additional rainfall will quickly become runoff, filling streams and rivers almost instantly. This rapid runoff can overwhelm drainage systems and natural waterways in a matter of minutes. Even moderate rain could trigger flash flooding, especially with creeks and rivers already running high. It doesn't take a major storm. Just a few more inches can push these waterways over their banks. Major rivers like the Mississippi and Ohio are elevated, leaving little room for more water. These rivers are already swollen from upstream runoff, and any new rain will only add to the pressure. As runoff pours in, we expect river levels to rise steadily through the week. This isn't just a short-term problem. Flooding could persist for days as water slowly moves downstream. This isn't just a flash flood threat. Longer-lasting river flooding is likely as water moves downstream. Communities far from the initial storm could still face rising waters days later. The combination of saturated soil and high rivers is a classic setup for a significant flood event. It's a chain reaction. One factor feeds into the next, amplifying the risk. The atmosphere is primed for heavy rain, and the ground is ready to turn that rain into flooding. All it takes is one more round of storms to tip the balance. We're not just tracking a storm, but how it interacts with an environment already on edge. Meteorologists are watching closely, knowing that even small changes in the forecast could have big impacts. That's why heightened awareness is critical for everyone in the storm's path. Early warnings and preparation can make all the difference when every minute counts. Stay alert and be ready to act quickly if warnings are issued. Have a plan, know your evacuation routes, and keep emergency supplies close at hand. Flooding can happen fast. Don't be caught off guard. With the right preparation and awareness, you can stay safe even when the waters rise. Here's what to expect, day by day. This week's weather will be a test of patience and preparation, as each day brings new challenges and shifting risks across the region. Monday, storms begin in Texas, Louisiana, and the southeast. Heavy downpours start saturating the ground, making it difficult for water to drain. Early flooding is possible in low-lying areas, and travel could quickly become hazardous as rainfall rates increase. Tuesday and Wednesday, the main event arrives. A strengthening low-pressure system pulls in Gulf moisture, unleashing widespread thunderstorms from Texas to the Ohio Valley. Expect intense lightning, gusty winds, and the potential for flash flooding as storms sweep eastward. This is when the heaviest rain and greatest flood risk will hit. Emergency crews may be called into action, and some neighborhoods could see rapid rises in water levels. By Wednesday, drenching rain stretches from the Gulf Coast to the Great Lakes, with storms lingering in the Ohio Valley and southeast. Urban areas may see street flooding, while rural communities face swollen creeks and streams. Multi-day rainfall means no time for rivers or soil to recover. Saturated ground increases the risk of landslides and makes flooding more severe, especially in areas that have already seen heavy rain. Even as the storm moves out later in the week, floodwaters will continue to rise downstream. Water from upstream will keep flowing into rivers and streams, prolonging the flood threat. Communities far from the heaviest rain could still face rising rivers days later. Flooding may persist, or even worsen as water travels downstream, impacting towns that initially seemed safe. This is a long-duration event. Stay vigilant even after the rain stops. The risk doesn't end when the skies clear, so keep monitoring local alerts and be ready to act if conditions change. We'll be tracking river crests and flood risks through the weekend. Stay informed, stay prepared, and look out for your neighbors as the situation evolves. What sets this storm apart? It's the perfect storm of meteorological ingredients. First, an extraordinary plume of tropical moisture from the Gulf, warmer than usual, fuels the system. This is a high-end atmospheric river, delivering relentless water vapor to the central U.S. Second, the storm is slow-moving, allowing thunderstorms to train over the same areas, dumping inches of rain in hours. Powerful upper-level energy from the jet stream lifts this moisture, creating massive, efficient rainmakers. The result, widespread, intense downpours over a huge region. Multiple major river basins, Mississippi, Ohio, Arkansas, Red, will all be impacted at once. Flood forecasting and response become more complex when so many areas are affected simultaneously. Rainfall in one state can cause flooding hundreds of miles downstream days later. This is not a typical spring storm, it's a multi-state, multi-day flood threat. Which areas are most at risk? Monday, Texas and Louisiana, Houston, Shreveport, New Orleans, face the first round of heavy rain and street flooding. By Tuesday and Wednesday, the flood bullseye shifts to Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Cities like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Cincinnati should prepare for major disruptions and flash floods. The threat expands north into Michigan and Wisconsin, and east into the Tennessee Valley and southeast. Nearly everyone in the central third of the country will feel some impact, but the heaviest rain will fall in narrow bands. Local risk depends on your proximity to rivers, creeks, and low-lying areas. Pay close attention to local warnings and be ready to act. Don't wait for the water to rise. Have a plan now. Let's break down the flood dangers. Flash flooding is the immediate threat. Heavy rain runs off saturated ground, filling streets and streams in minutes. Never drive through flooded roads. Water depth and road conditions are impossible to judge. Urban areas and hilly terrain are especially vulnerable to fast-rising water. River flooding is slower but can be just as dangerous. Smaller streams will overflow first, flooding farmland and rural roads. Over days, all that water funnels into major rivers like the Mississippi and Ohio, causing prolonged high water. Even if major rivers avoid catastrophic flooding, minor to moderate flooding is likely in several spots. Flooding can last well beyond the rain. Stay alert for rising rivers into next week. Preparation and quick response save lives. Last week's flooding in Seymour, Indiana is a stark warning. Heavy rain pushed the East Fork of the White River to major flood stage, inundating roads, including parts of I-65, and stranding vehicles. First responders performed risky water rescues as floodwaters rose rapidly. This was caused by persistent rain on already saturated ground, a scenario we could see repeated across the central U.S. Seymour's experience shows how quickly infrastructure can be cut off and lives put at risk. Use this recent event as motivation. Know your flood risk, evacuation routes, and have a plan. Being prepared can make all the difference. There's a potential silver lining. Some drought-stricken areas could see relief. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana have faced severe drought. Steady rain could replenish reservoirs and soil. The key is how the rain falls. Slow and steady helps, but intense downpours mostly run off, causing floods instead of soaking in. It's a delicate balance. Too much rain too fast brings more harm than help. Still, this event may improve drought conditions in the weeks ahead. We hope for beneficial rain, but must prepare for the flood risk first. Powerful storms often bring both danger and hope. As this storm approaches, safety and preparation are critical. Have multiple ways to receive weather alerts: NOAA radios, smartphone apps, and local news. Know your flood risk check maps, identify nearby waterways, and have an evacuation plan if you're in a vulnerable area. Pack a go bag with essentials and know where you'd go if you need to leave quickly. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Most flood deaths happen in vehicles. Never drive through flooded roads. Just 6 inches of water can knock you off your feet. A foot can sweep away a car. Stay informed as the forecast evolves. Conditions can change rapidly. Preparation and smart choices save lives. We'll keep you updated as the situation develops. Be aware, be prepared, and stay safe. Together, we can weather this storm. We're with you every step of the way.